Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. We are going to dive into our paycheck to paycheck budgeting in my EveryDollar app. I did not get to do I did do the January end of the month transition from closing out January and beginning February, but that video got corrupted. So I did not get to post that, and so I lost all the footage to that. So sorry. So I thought I would just come in here, review what closed out in January. If you watch my paper budgeting, it's the same thing. It's just on paper. Here it's in the app and it tracks the exact same things. So, but we'll just go back and look at January, see where I closed it out, and then how I carried everything over in February. And then you can see the transactions I have for February. So right now I'm on February. I just opened my EveryDollar app, and so I'm going to go back to January real quick, just a couple minutes. All the income expected came in, even unexpected income with the this was the stimulus check here, but everything else was pretty much expected. Here we go. All the tithing came out. Spending categories. So this is what I spent for paycheck 1. What we spent for paycheck 2 in our grocery household, restaurants, miscellaneous, and gasoline. And then I had unbudgeted in both paycheck periods. And then what was left at the end of the month, the last week, going into, I think I ended January budgeting-wise on the 28th, and the 29th started my February budget. It just flowed better with the paychecks and how my husband got paid for the month. And so I took the last 3 days of January and put them in February. And February is a short month. It's a 28-day month anyway, so it kind of helped balance things out a little bit. As far as our bills, everything that we planned happened, and nothing surprising there. Just kind of scrolling through, showing you the amounts for housing, our internet, and subscriptions. What else do I have? Medical insurance, auto insurance, like all the insurances and healthcare, transportation, things like that. So I'm going to go back. I think that's, credit card and that. So we pay our credit card off every month. I don't put a lot on there. I cap myself like at $143. We have a couple of subscriptions that goes on there, and every once in a while we put an extra transaction that we need to charge right away, but we have the cash in the account and we'll just pay it off later. So there is that. I'm going to go back to the top here, and this is my balance forward. I like to have the balance forward, whatever the balance is in the checking account that needs to move from January to February, and then I can place it back in my income section in February if I choose to, or I just leave it in there and use it for the bills. The fund, the way EveryDollar works, the way they have the fund, that is perfect for that. So I like doing it that way. It helps keep me in check and in balance. Up here in the income section, it won't let you do a fund. So I can't fund it here and then let it roll over. They want you to assign EveryDollar and put it somewhere in the account. But there's no way of balancing forward a fund in your income section. So that's what I do there, and that's how I make it work. Let's go to February. January's already closed out, everything balanced forward. There was a slight increase in military retirement deposit. I think that had to do with cost of living adjustments, VA disability, VA education, that seems to be steady. Our son pays us rent. I will be changing this one, salary overtime reimbursement. My husband did go out to sea for a little bit, and he is now home, and the pay increase because of overtime happened, so I have to change that number. Tomorrow's payday, so I will be taking care of that. And I also want to go ahead and reconcile our paycheck 1 spending. You can see here there's a transfer from savings sinking funds where I balance forward and have that little piggy and fund that moves the money from one month to the next. I moved it up to the income section because I used it to pay for an AMCO bill. It was $1,600, so I needed to make sure I had all the money possible available to pay that bill on the 2nd of the month, and that has been taken care of, and we're good to go. So a couple of tithings have already come out, and this is what we have for our spending categories. So Paycheck 1 is over today. It went from the 29th of January to February 4th, which is an entire week, and because my husband got his first of the month checks a couple days early, because I think the first fell on a Monday, and so they need 24 hours full business day before they'll have that deposit. So it would be deposited and available cash on the 1st. So that's why they do that. And as you can see, I'm already over at Grocery Household. If I hadn't gone shopping today, I would only been $25 over, but I could have waited till tomorrow, but I'm not going to be out running errands tomorrow, so I did it today and allowed myself to go over, which is fine because whatever I have negative here, I will be reducing down here in Paycheck 2. So that is what we're going to do today. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to adjust this here. Grocery Household. And Paycheck to Paycheck for me is mostly about my spending categories. What do I have for the time period to spend? So I have $300 here. I'm going to take that number out, and I'm going to put 406.10. That's the amount I actually spent for the month. Now I'm $106 over and 10 cents. So what I get to do here is come down here to my Grocery Household. And this is great with EveryDollar. It does the math for you. You don't really have to calculate too much. And I'm going to take this number out completely. Now, because that's over budget, it's going to reduce that $500 that I just took out to match what's left to budget. And that'll give me my number here in the Grocery Household for Paycheck 2 spending, which is really awesome. Let's see what it tells me. $393.90, and that is exactly right. So I'm going to have $393.90 for the next 2 weeks of spending. And that's going to carry me through. Tomorrow is the first day for the budget period for Paycheck 2, but that's okay. I've already bought enough now the day before that's going to carry me through that I would have bought it tomorrow anyway. So and just paid for it a little early is all I did. I borrowed from Paycheck 2 to go ahead and buy on my convenient time instead of having to wait that whole day and go back out again when I didn't want to. So there's that. I'm going to put that, and now we're back to an EveryDollar budget. Now, as you can see, I'm over. I have plenty of money remaining in all these categories. In fact, one category I didn't spend anything in, which is unusual for me. Amazon and Etsy gets me every time. So, but I stayed off of it, and I did really good. And I hope to keep practicing more of that and spend less in this category. But we'll see what happens. Restaurants. Let's put the actual number we spent. And it was very nice to see that it was only $78.39. And right there. Now I have $121.61 left to budget. Let's go down here. I'm going to take this number out and just delete it completely. And that number is going to go up. And now I have $446.61 to budget for the next 2 weeks. That's what I have available. So this is going to work for me. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. 4661. And now it's an EveryDollar budget. And I do these one at a time to make it simple and let the computer do the math for me and not really confuse myself. So here I spent nothing. Absolutely nothing. Come on. There we go. And yeah, I have $150 left to budget. Miscellaneous. I'm going to delete that too. It's going to tell me $425. That'll last for the 2 weeks, and I definitely going to be more than enough for the next 2 weeks. Gasoline, we did spend some money there, so I need to, change that out. If I can get it to highlight properly. And that was $29.03 spent. Now I have $33 left in gasoline. We need to add it for the next 2 weeks. And see what the number is there. Now I know I have $158.47 to budget left for the next 2 weeks for Paycheck 2 spending. So now, as you see, all these are zeros now, right here in the remaining. This is telling me that this is reconciled. I don't have to think about it. I can just kind of make it go up here, and I don't have to look at it again because Paycheck 1 is over and I'm moving on to Paycheck 2. And every time I spend in these categories, this is where it's going to be put. Anytime I go to the grocery store, that's where I'm going to put the transaction. Anytime I go to the have a restaurant transaction, that's going to go there. Random miscellaneous, shoes, paper, whatever we need that's random that doesn't fit in the other categories, that goes there. Anytime we fill up our cars, that goes there. I do have a category for unbudgeted. I put it in there as a self-discipline category because, excuse me, I was spending our buffer and taking money out of the buffer of the checking account, which is whatever's left over after, we get paid and all the bills are spent. A little too much. A little too much. So I needed to find a way to remind myself, stay within the budget, and seeing the unbudgeted line and seeing that I spent practically over $500 last month in addition to what we budgeted. I was like, no, I need to stop. Just stop. That's all. I just need to stop. So that's what I did. And yeah, that's where we are right now. So I didn't do anything in the first paycheck period. Hopefully nothing comes up, though I don't mind using our buffer when we have a project we hadn't planned on doing, but we decided to do, and we see in the budget there isn't enough there, like if we went to Home Depot and got stuff and taking care of things, you might see stuff like that. I'm really highly considering getting new blinds in our master bedroom. One blind set is broke and can't even use it. And we need to put something new up. We do have good curtains with blackout curtains in them. So because the sun, when it comes up, it comes right on our bedroom first thing in the morning, and it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, we might have projects like that come up. I don't mind that, as long as it's not little frivolous things where we just ran to the store and grabbed this and had a little extra this, that, and the other thing. That I don't want to do. But if it's something that's for the house or for the family that really enhances the house or really takes care of the family, that is what the buffer's for if we need it or if we desire to use it. So yeah, that's what I have for Paycheck 2. My Paycheck 2 is set up. Oops, I don't want to do that. As far as what we have in our balance forward, I have nothing in our balance forward planned. Right now, the remaining is $364.59, and that is what I predict will roll over into March. We have our sinking funds already set up, and this is the totals for the end of the month when I make that deposit. So that'll keep rolling over. I will probably use this one, and this will reduce by $88, but that's okay. That's what the sinking fund is for. Our savings goals this month, I do have right now, just to make the numbers work, I have $750 here, and I'm trying to remember why I did that, and $825 there. I can't, because more than likely, if I have to wait until tomorrow, but more than likely my husband's overpayment here will be moving up here, and that'll give me that a little over $1,000 that I need for the month, that is part of my goals for the month. That will go there because I think they might have taken the money out of his paycheck that's coming tomorrow, but his paycheck is higher tomorrow. So because he had overtime and went out to sea, I think they took this amount back, but he still made enough overtime to get more than he normally would, and that's going to be considered. But I have to take a look at the statement before I figure that out. So instead of, in order to make all this balance out, instead of putting $1,000, I just put $750, and it worked well there. Also, my husband had travel expense savings, and I didn't put it here. Let's see. travel expense savings, I think I have down here. Here it is. There's a plan, $250. It actually did come out, so I do need to, I do have it put in here. So that came out while he was traveling. So next pay will replenish that because he gets reimbursed for that, most of that $250. Sometimes it takes a while. It just depends on what's going on and what pay cycles and stuff happen. So that's what that was. I reduced that because of that, and then I knew this was probably, I was just shifting money around to make it balance. But by the end of the month, at least if I have $1,000 going into that, then that is all I really need. But like I said, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so I have to wait until that paycheck gets in and completely deposit so I can count it the way they paid him and what's overtime, what's reimbursement, and if they took money back for the overpayment. So things like that. But as far as all the other bills, everything is exactly the same. Our big bill that we were concerned about got paid at the first of the month, which is why we rolled over so much money from last month. This is why I had to pay this on the second, and it came out and everything's good, and card is paid off. I don't like using credit. I don't like using credit cards, but because it was such a large transaction, I use that credit card from Amco as a placeholder until I get all my money together and then send the money to the credit card company, and that works for me too. So that's how I do that, and I haven't spent anything here, and yeah, that's all I have for you. So if you have questions about EveryDollar or an EveryDollar budget or why I'm doing paycheck to paycheck in my EveryDollar and setting up a little bit different, leave the questions down in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you about it. Mainly the reason I do paycheck to paycheck in EveryDollar is so I can have what I actually have deposited in my budget for my checking account, what actual cash I have I can spend for the time period before the next paycheck. So I don't go over in those spending categories. It's just separated out, and there it is. And so I know I can spend that much over the next couple weeks for grocery household, for restaurants, for miscellaneous, for gasoline. So that's why I do it. So I hope you have an amazing, blessed day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.